no rest. Those are the two words that I've had to live by for the last week. No rest. Because it's been my mission for the last week to make sure that the Kings of Wrestling had gold in their future. Whether it be the tag titles, the world title, or the TV title, the Kings will wear gold again. See, there's something no one out there would understand because none of you are champions, much less champions for a year. When you've had gold for that long, you crave it. It becomes a necessity. It becomes a must-have. And you don't want to see what happens when the Kings don't have gold. I felt it. The possibility for one moment. And quite frankly, it scared me. The same way that everyone in Pro Wrestling Noah should be scared when Chris and Claudio head over for the Tag League without their titles. That being said, I've spent the last week operating by another phrase that someone taught me many years ago. Always be closing. Always be closing. That's what I've been doing with the Ring of Honor offices, with Ring of Honor management, on the phone, emails, texting, borderline harassing them to make sure the Kings get gold. And guess what? I have been very successful. You know why? Because I'm the greatest manager that Ring of Honor has ever seen. 2 separate teams to tag team gold. Another man to the television title. I am the best at my job that Ring of Honor has ever seen. And that is why in Toronto, that young knockout kid, Chris Hero, is going to take the world title from you, Eddie Edwards. That's right. And you should be very, very afraid. Because aside from Davey, I don't think there's anybody in the wrestling business who knows you better than I do. So I've known you for a long time. Way before I managed you to 2 different titles. I know your weaknesses. I know your strengths. I know how good you are. And I know how good you think you are. All of that is going into Chris Hero's ear. And all of that is going to be inflicted upon you in the ring in Toronto. You know what it felt like in Boston. You know what it felt like when you and Davey tried to take the belts and you felt elbow after elbow after elbow and Hero pinned your shoulders to the mat. You'll feel that again in Toronto. As for Claudio, I'm working on that. I'm working on Claudio too. And I'm working on getting our shot at the tag titles once again. After nearly a year, Ring of Honor cannot refuse us a rematch. So be very afraid when Chris and Claudio come back from Japan. Every time they come back, they're monsters. And what do you think's going to happen this time when they don't have the belts around their waists anymore? What kind of an animal are you going to see from the Kings of Wrestling?